Todd from New Zealand is P1 on mediums. Chris Button from New Zealand is P3 on mediums. Greg Hurst from New Zealand is first with 13 kilos on mediums. Best lap is a 1:13.232. God 12 is P2 on mediums. Best lap is a 1:14.541. Todd is fourth on mediums. God 12 is P2 on mediums. Greg Hurst from New Zealand is P1. YH8 Racing is P5 on mediums. Todd is P3. Best lap is a 1:15.626. Hyperboom 309 is fifth with 13 kilos on mediums. Best lap is a 5:04.966. God 12 is P2 on mediums. Eric Yamashita from New Zealand is P3 with 13 kilos on mediums. Best lap is a 1:15.095. God 12 is P3. YH8 Racing is P3. Best lap is a 1:14.392. Hyperboom 309 is P2. Best lap is a 1:12.703. YH8 Racing is P4. Danny Boy from New Zealand is 8th with 10 kilos on mediums. Best lap is a 1:33.156. YH8 Racing is P4. Best lap is a 1:14.300. The qualification session is at racetrack in Nunn, Japan. Greg Hurst from New Zealand is P18 with 13 kilos on mediums. Eric Yamashita from New Zealand is first with 13 kilos on mediums. Hyperboom 309 is 5th with 13 kilos on mediums. Greg Hurst is P4. Chris Butt from New Zealand is 7th on mediums. Eric Yamashita is P1 with 13 kilos. Ten minutes remaining in the session. Eric Yamashita improved his P1 with a 1:13.483. Illis from New Zealand is P4 up 22.88 on mediums. Illis improved his 4th with a 1:15.391. 1.908 off pole. Hyperboom 309 is provisional pole with a 1:12.783. Eric Yamashita is 2nd. Eric Yamashita improved his P2 with a 1:13.338. 0.555 off pole. Illis is 7th. God 12 is P5 up 0.11 on mediums. Best lap is a 1:14.566. 1.783 off pole. Jonathan Rosser from New Zealand is 10th up 0.18 on mediums. Greg Hurst is 4th up 0.76 with 13 kilos. Greg Hurst improved his second with a 1:13.210. 0.427 off pole. Danny Boy from New Zealand is 8th with 10 kilos on mediums. Danny Boy improved his 8th with a 1:15.455. 2.672 off pole. Jonathan Rosser is 10th up 0.48. God 12 is P6 up 0.20. Hyperboom 309 is first. Best lap is a 1:12.783. Hyperboom 309 is provisional pole with a 1:12.600. God 12 is P6. Greg Hurst is P2. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Hyperboom 309 is first up 0.14 on mediums. Chris Butt is P7 up 0.41. Best lap is a 1:14.853. 2.253 off pole. Chris Butt improved his P5 with a 1:14.245. 1.645 off pole. YH8 Racing is 4th up 0.32 on mediums. YH8 Racing improved his P2 with a 1:13.043. 0.443 off pole. Jonathan Rosser is 11th on mediums. Todd from New Zealand is P6 on mediums. Jonathan Rosser is 11th up 0.16. God 12 is 7th up 0.10. Jason Short from New Zealand is 11th up 3.33 with 10 kilos on mediums. Jason Short improved his P10 with a 1:15.888. 3.288 off pole. Todd is 6th. Best lap is a 1:14.370. 1.770 off pole. The qualifying session is now in overtime. Jason Short is 10th. Greg Hurst is P3. Best lap is a 1:13.210. 0.610 off pole. Chris Butt is 5th. Best lap is a 1:14.245. 1.645 off pole. Broadcast bot is P20 on mediums. The race session is at racetrack in Nunn, Japan. The wind speed is 4 km/h from the northeast. Hyperboom 309 is P1. YH8 Racing is P2 on mediums. God 12 is P3 on mediums. Greg Hurst from New Zealand is 4th with 13 kilos on mediums. Eric Yamashita from New Zealand is 5th with 13 kilos on mediums. Race start. Hyperboom 309 is P2 with 13 kilos on mediums. Greg Hurst is third. Hyperboom 309 is P2. Greg Hurst is third. Hyperboom 309 is P2. Greg Hurst is P3, 0.6 behind Hyperboom 309. Chris Butt from New Zealand is 6th on mediums, 0.5 ahead of Todd. Chris Butt is now P3. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Matthew Gray 89.mg entering the pits is P12. Todd is 4th. Jonathan Rosser from New Zealand is P10 on mediums, 0.2 behind Danny Boyd. Jonathan Rosser passed Danny Boyd for 9th. Todd from New Zealand is 4th on mediums, 0.9 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt is P3, 0.8 behind God 12A. Matthew Gray 89.mg exiting pits on mediums. Danny Boy from New Zealand is P10 with 10 kilos on mediums, 0.9 behind Jonathan Rosser. Chris Butt from New Zealand is P3, 0.7 behind God 12A. Todd is 4th, 0.9 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt is P3, 0.6 ahead of Todd. Todd is P4 on mediums, 0.5 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt is 3rd, 0.5 ahead of Todd. Todd is 4th, 0.4 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt is P3, 0.7 behind God 12A. YH8 Racing is P6, 1.2 behind Jason Short. Chris Butt is P3. Best lap is a 1:14.642. 1.892 off the fastest lap. YH8 Racing is 6th, 0.8 behind Jason Short. Chris Butt is 3rd, 0.1 behind God 12A. Chris Butt passed God 12A for 2nd. God 12 is P3, 0.3 behind Chris Butt. YH8 Racing is P6, 0.3 behind Jason Short. God 12 is P3, 0.5 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt was 1.0 faster last lap. Minutes remaining in the session. Todd is P4, 0.6 behind God 12A. God 12 is P3, 0.4 ahead of Todd. Todd was 1.7 faster last lap. YH8 Racing is 6th. Best lap is a 1:13.681. 0.931 off the fastest lap. God 12 is 4th, 0.4 behind Todd. Jason Short from New Zealand is 5th with 10 kilos on mediums, 0.5 ahead of YH8 Racing. Jonathan Rosser entering the pits is 10th. Jason Short is now P4. YH8 Racing is 5th, 0.4 behind Jason Short. Todd is P3, 1.2 behind Chris Butt. Jonathan Rosser exiting pits on mediums. YH8 Racing is P5, 0.2 behind Jason Short. Jason Short is P4, 0.4 ahead of YH8 Racing. Danny Boy exiting pits on mediums. YH8 Racing is 5th, 0.5 behind Jason Short. Eric Yamashita exiting pits on mediums. Jason Short is 4th. YH8 Racing is P5, 0.6 behind Jason Short. YH8 Racing passed Todd for 3rd. Todd is P4 battling Jason Short. Todd lost 4th to Jason Short. Jason Short is P4. Best lap is a 1:14.374. 1.624 off the fastest lap. Todd is 5th, 0.4 behind Jason Short. Greg Hurst exiting pits on mediums. Jason Short is P4, 0.7 ahead of Todd. Todd is 5th. Best lap is a 1:14.413. 1.663 off the fastest lap. YH8 Racing is P3, 1.4 behind Chris Budd. YH8 Racing was 1.2 faster last lap. Jason Short is P5 with 10 kilos, 0.3 behind Todd. Ten minutes remaining in the session. Todd is P5. YH8 Racing is P3, 1.1 behind Chris Budd. Todd is P5, 0.2 behind Jason Short. Todd is now 3rd. YH8 Racing on lap 11 is 2nd, 0.8 behind Chris Budd. Hyperboom 309 exiting pits on mediums. Jason Short from New Zealand is 4th, 0.5 behind Todd. Jason Short passed Todd for 3rd. YH8 Racing is P2 on mediums, 0.2 behind Chris Budd. Jason Short on lap 11 is P3, 2.1 ahead of Todd. Illis exiting pits on mediums. YH8 Racing is P2. YH8 Racing passed Chris Budd for P1. Todd is P3, 2.6 behind Chris Budd. Hyperboom 309 is 4th, 2.9 behind Todd. Jason Short exiting pits on mediums. God 12 exiting pits on mediums. God 12 is 7th, 0.8 behind Jason Short. Hyperboom 309 is P4 on mediums, 1.0 behind Todd. Hyperboom 309 passed Todd for third. Todd entering the pits is P4. God 12 on lap 12 is P7, 1.0 behind Jason Short. Jonathan Rosser is P9. YH8 Racing exiting pits on mediums. Chris Butt exiting pits on mediums. Todd exiting pits on mediums. Chris Butt is P3, 0.3 ahead of Eric Yamashita. Eric Yamashita is 4th, 0.7 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt is P3, 0.7 behind YH8 Racing. Eric Yamashita is 4th on mediums, 0.4 behind Chris Butt. Five minutes remaining in the session. Chris Butt on lap 14 is P3 battling Eric Yamashita. Chris Butt lost P3 to Eric Yamashita. Matthew Gray 89.mg exiting pits on mediums. Eric Yamashita from New Zealand is P3, 0.5 ahead of Chris Butt. Chris Butt is 4th, 0.6 behind Eric Yamashita. Eric Yamashita was 7.0 faster last lap. Eric Yamashita is P3, 0.7 ahead of Chris Butt. Chris Butt on lap 14 is 4th, 0.8 behind Eric Yamashita. Todd is 6th. Chris Butt is P4, 0.5 behind Eric Yamashita. Eric Yamashita was 1.0 faster last lap. Jason Short is 7th, 0.6 behind Todd. Eric Yamashita is 3rd, 1.9 ahead of Chris Butt. Jason Short is 7th, 0.8 behind Todd. Eric Yamashita is P3 on mediums, 0.7 behind YH8 Racing. Jason Short is P7, 0.9 behind Todd. Jason Short was 1.7 faster last lap. Jason Short passed Todd for P6. Eric Yamashita is P3, 0.3 behind YH8 Racing. Chris Butt on lap 16 is P4, 0.8 behind Eric Yamashita. Eric Yamashita was 1.2 faster last lap. Todd is P7, 0.5 behind Jason Short. Chris Butt is P4. Todd is 7th, 2.1 behind Jason Short. Jason Short was 1.0 faster last lap. Chris Butt is 4th on mediums, 1.8 behind Eric Yamashita. Eric Yamashita on lap 18 is 3rd, 1.4 ahead of Chris Butt. The leader has just finished the race. Hyperboom 309 finished first. Jonathan Rosser finished 9th. Greg Hurst finished 10th. YH8 Racing finished P2. Eric Yamashita finished 3rd. Chris Butt finished 4th. God 12 finished 5th. Jason Short finished 6th. Matthew Gray 89.mg finished P12. Todd finished P7. Danny Boy finished 11th. Illis finished P8. broadcast bot is 13th. The race session is at racetrack in Nunn, Japan. The wind speed is 2 km/h from the northeast. Danny Boy is P1. Greg Hurst from New Zealand is P2 with 13 kilos on mediums. Illis from New Zealand is P3 on mediums. Jonathan Rosser from New Zealand is P4 on mediums. Todd from New Zealand is P5 on mediums. Race start. Danny Boy from New Zealand is P2 with 10 kilos on mediums. Jonathan Rosser is third. Danny Boy is P2. Danny Boy lost 6th to Hyperboom 309. Jason Short from New Zealand is 4th with 10 kilos on mediums. Illis is P5. Illis lost P7 to Eric Yamashita. Hyperboom 309 is P3 with 13 kilos on mediums, 0.7 behind Jonathan Rosser. Eric Yamashita entering the pits is P10. The race session is at racetrack in Nunn, Japan. The wind speed is 2 km/h from the northeast. Hyperboom 309 is first. YH8 Racing is P2 on mediums. Eric Yamashita from New Zealand is third with 13 kilos on mediums. Race start. YH8 Racing is second. YH8 Racing lost second to Eric Yamashita. Eric Yamashita is second. Eric Yamashita passed Hyperboom 309 for first. Hyperboom 309 is second with 13 kilos on mediums. YH8 Racing is P3. Hyperboom 309 is second. Jason Short from New Zealand is P5 with 10 kilos on mediums, 0.3 behind Chris Budd. Hyperboom 309 is P2. 0.6 behind Eric Yamashita. "20 minutes remaining in the session. Chris Butt from New Zealand is 5th on mediums, 0.5 behind Jason Short. Hyperboom 309 is 2nd, 0.9 behind Eric Yamashita. Chris Butt is P5, 0.2 behind Jason Short. Chris Butt entering the pits is P5. Matthew Gray 89.mg on lap 2 is P8 with 10 kilos on mediums, 0.3 behind Todd. Hyperboom 309 is P2 on mediums, 0.4 behind Eric Yamashita. Illis from New Zealand is 6th on mediums, 0.9 behind Greg Hurst. Greg Hurst was 3.7 faster last lap. Hyperboom 309 is 2nd, 0.7 behind Eric Yamashita. Greg Hurst from New Zealand is P5 with 13 kilos on mediums, 1.0 behind Jason Short. Greg Hurst was 3.6 faster last lap. Hyperboom 309 is P2, 0.4 behind Eric Yamashita. Greg Hurst is 5th. Best lap is a 1:13.546. 0.676 off the fastest lap. Hyperboom 309 is 2nd, 0.7 behind Eric Yamashita. Todd from New Zealand is P7 on mediums. Best lap is a 1:15.097. 2.227 off the fastest lap. Hyperboom 309 is P2, 0.5 ahead of YH8 Racing. YH8 Racing on lap 5 is P3, 0.6 behind Hyperboom 309. Hyperboom 309 is P2 with 13 kilos, 0.8 ahead of YH8 Racing. YH8 Racing is 3rd, 0.8 behind Hyperboom 309. Hyperboom 309 is P2 with 13 kilos, 0.4 behind Eric Yamashita. YH8 Racing is 3rd. Best lap is a 1:12.719. Hyperboom 309 is P2, 0.5 behind Eric Yamashita. YH8 Racing is P3, 0.7 behind Hyperboom 309. "15 minutes remaining in the session. Hyperboom 309 is P2, 0.4 behind Eric Yamashita. Matthew Gray 89.mg is 7th. Best lap is a 1:14.731. 2.012 off the fastest lap. Hyperboom 309 on lap 7 is second, 0.7 behind Eric Yamashita. Matthew Gray 89.mg is 7th, 0.3 behind Todd. Matthew Gray 89.mg passed Todd for 6th. Hyperboom 309 is 2nd. Best lap is a 1:12.901. 0.182 off the fastest lap. Matthew Gray 89.mg is P6, 2.1 behind Jason Short. Danny Boy exiting pits on mediums. Hyperboom 309 is second, 0.1 behind Eric Yamashita. Hyperboom 309 passed Eric Yamashita for first. Eric Yamashita is P2, 0.4 behind Hyperboom 309. Todd is P7, 2.7 behind Matthew Gray 89.mg. Matthew Gray 89.mg was 3.3 faster last lap. Eric Yamashita is second on mediums, 0.7 behind Hyperboom 309. Todd from New Zealand is P7, 2.0 behind Matthew Gray 89.mg. YH8 Racing is P3, 0.8 behind Eric Yamashita. YH8 Racing passed Eric Yamashita for P2. Eric Yamashita is third, 0.5 behind YH8 Racing. YH8 Racing was 2.7 faster last lap. Jonathan Rosser entering the pits is 8th. Todd is 7th, 3.5 behind Matthew Gray 89.mg. Eric Yamashita is P3, 0.4 behind YH8 Racing. Jonathan Rosser exiting pits on mediums. Illis exiting pits on mediums. Danny Boy from New Zealand is P11 with 10 kilos on mediums, 0.5 behind Illis. Illis is P10, 3.6 behind Jonathan Rosser. Eric Yamashita exiting pits on mediums. Matthew Gray 89.mg is P5, 3.3 behind Jason Short. Matthew Gray 89.mg was 0.5 faster last lap. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Illisp is P10 on mediums, 3.5 behind Jonathan Rosser. Chris Butt is P8, 3.1 behind Todd. Illisp is 10th on mediums, 3.3 behind Jonathan Rosser. Hyperboom 309 exiting pits on mediums. YH8 Racing exiting pits on mediums. Todd from New Zealand is 6th, 2.8 behind YH8 Racing. Jason Short exiting pits on mediums. Illisp is 10th, 2.5 behind Jonathan Rosser. Chris Butt exiting pits on mediums. Chris Butt on lap 11 is 9th, 0.1 ahead of Illisp. Illisp is 10th. Best lap is a 1:15.536. 2.817 off the fastest lap. YH8 Racing is 5th, 1.7 behind Todd. Illisp is 10th, 0.5 behind Chris Butt. Illisp is now 9th. Chris Butt from New Zealand is P8, 0.6 ahead of Illisp. Matthew Gray 89.mg exiting pits on mediums. Illisp is 9th, 0.5 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt is P8, 0.6 ahead of Illisp. Greg Hurst exiting pits on mediums. Todd entering the pits is 5th. Illisp is P9, 0.4 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt is P8, 0.4 behind Jonathan Rosser. Jonathan Rosser was 5.3 faster last lap. Chris Butt is now P7. Illisp from New Zealand is P7 battling Chris Butt. Chris Butt is P8 on mediums, 0.3 behind Illisp. Todd exiting pits on mediums. Illisk is P8 battling Chris Butt. Five minutes remaining in the session. Chris Butt is P7, 0.1 ahead of Illisk. Illisk is 8th on mediums, 0.3 behind Chris Butt. Chris Butt from New Zealand is P7 battling Jonathan Rosser. Chris Butt passed Jonathan Rosser for 6th. Jonathan Rosser from New Zealand is P7 on mediums, 0.1 ahead of Illisk. Jonathan Rosser is now 6th. Danny Boy is 9, 1.4 behind Chris Butt. Illisk is 7th, 1.0 behind Jonathan Rosser. Illisk passed Jonathan Rosser for P6. Jonathan Rosser is 7th, 1.8 behind Illisk. Greg Hurst is P3, 2.4 behind Eric Yamashita. Jonathan Rosser is P7. Best lap is a 1:15.074. 2.366 off the fastest lap. YH8 Racing is P4, 0.8 behind Greg Hurst. Jonathan Rosser is P7, 0.7 behind Illisk. Greg Hurst is P3, 2.4 behind Eric Yamashita. Jonathan Rosser is 7th, 0.8 behind Illisk. Greg Hurst is P3, 2.2 behind Eric Yamashita. Jonathan Rosser is 7th on mediums, 0.6 behind Illisk. Greg Hurst is P3. Best lap is a 1:13.167. 0.459 off the fastest lap. Chris Butt entering the pits is P8. Jonathan Rosser on lap 17 is P7, 0.9 behind Illisk. Chris Butt exiting pits on mediums. Chris Butt is P9, 2.0 behind Danny Boy. Jonathan Rosser is P7. Best lap is a 1:14.559. 1.851 off the fastest lap. Chris Butt is P9, 0.6 behind Danny Boy. Matthew Gray 89.mg entering the pits is P12. The leader has just finished the race. Hyperboom 309 finished first. Eric Yamashita finished P2. Chris Butt finished P8. Danny Boy finished P9. Greg Hurst finished P3. YH8 Racing finished 4th. Todd finished P10. Jason Short finished P5. Illis is 6th. Illis finished 6th. Jonathan Rosser finished P7. Broadcast bot is P13.